Did you know that luxury brands actually pay a fortune to train their staff on how to serve coffee? So the question in this mini-series on crafting luxury today is, has coffee become a symbol of luxury? My name is Émilie Cousteau. I am your luxury business etiquette and cultural intelligence specialist and your guide to French art de vivre. I help successful professionals understand the codes of luxury and navigate cultural differences with ease. My question today in this mini-series, which focuses on the power of small gestures in crafting luxury, is coffee a luxury good? What makes it a luxury good or not, or an attribute of luxury? And I want to take you behind the scenes in the prestigious world of the Temple of Hospitality, which is École Hôtelière de Lausanne, and of Maison Kitsune in Paris, one of the most famous and chic, trendy coffee places in Paris, opposite the Jardin des Tuileries. So let's step back and take a look at what defines luxury. I want to look at three ingredients. The first ingredient usually is a scarcity. The second is a high price. And the third is a very high level of skill, of knowledge, or craftsmanship that is linked to the product. Does coffee have any of these properties? Well, if we look at the first element, which is a scarcity, no, coffee beans are not a scarce product, and nor is it an expensive product. If you look at the price of a coffee to manufacture, to make a coffee, actually, it costs only around a few cents to make a cup of coffee, maybe around, we say it's 10 to 20 cents. However, a cup of coffee is sold, and the one I paid this morning in Paris in Café Kitsune, a latte was sold €6, over €6, €6.50, if I'm not mistaken, for a simple cup of coffee. And coffee usually is the product which has the highest margin, one of the products with the highest margins in the F&B industry, with 80 to 90% margin. The second element is the know-how, or the level of skill set that is required to manufacture a luxury product. Here, I will go a bit deeper in the second part of this video on the gesture, but however, it's not a very, very highly skilled a set of skills that is required to make coffee. And the last point is the high price, or the high value. Of course, paying over €6 for a simple cup of coffee is expensive for the coffee per se, if you look at the intrinsic value of the coffee. However, it's not what we would define as a luxury. It's still affordable for most people to buy a cup of coffee at €6, to spend €6 on a cup of coffee once in a while. Probably not every day, but it's not what we would call a luxury product per se. This takes me to the second point, which is in the brand strategy. Luxury brands invest highly in how they will market and how they will stage their products. And here is a picture of a very recently opened, I think this was a brilliant marketing strategy, a very recently opened coffee shop in Paris by Julien Sebag and his pastry chef, Chine. And they opened this cafe which mixes both the codes of like luxury, this edgy brand style, a very visually appealing product, a huge storytelling behind it, and also borrowing codes of the K culture, because I believe the pastry chef is from Korea, and they really strongly were inspired by all this Korean and culture, which has a very, very strong marketing drive behind it, and they work a lot on the visual appeal. Now, if you look at these coffee shops, what you will notice is that the coffee machine, which is not something particularly pleasant to look at, is not hidden in the back, and also it's very noisy, is not hidden in the back of the store. On the contrary, it's placed in the front of the stores so that the customers immediately get immersed in the whole experience of making the coffee. They get the noise, they get the smell, and they can follow the process step by step. So that was a very brilliant thing, and I think most of these fancy coffee shops do that in a very smart way, and that also justifies the high price for the coffee, is that there's a whole staging, a whole marketing of the making of the coffee itself that is actually thought of ahead of the building of the store itself. itself, and that will be part of the customer journey. And of course, the last element which can make coffee a very luxurious product, or part of a luxury experience rather, is the power of small gestures. So a few weeks ago, I had the privilege to attend a training at the Temple of Hospitality, l'École Hôtelière de Lausanne, which trains the best professionals in the world of hospitality, but also they have tie-ups with many luxury brands that actually pay them to train their staff. And these luxury brands don't pay to train the staff, which will actually work in coffee shops, but these people are people working in retail stores selling luxury goods. It can be, we can talk about, luxury cars, luxury clothes, luxury whatever, jewelry, whatever it is. And they train the staff in the way of how to serve coffee. And I was taken through the process of making coffee the right way. So there's so many gestures that were taught to the staff. First of all, the way you tap the coffee, the amount of pressure that has to go through the steam, and in the way that the coffee is actually made, the texture of the milk, the kind of machine that you are using, how you brew the grains. All these are just an addition or a succession of very precise small gestures. But then the cherry of the cake was the way you actually serve coffee to your guests. And this serves a lot, and it totally tops the luxury experience, and it can make a whole difference, believe it or not, in the customer journey of somebody who's actually spending tens of thousands of euros on a product, but they can be very happy or very satisfied or very dissatisfied by the way they are serving coffee. So now you will ask me, what is the proper way of serving coffee? And this is the proper way. Actually, the other way, if you are looking at the screen. So it's presenting the spoon the coffee spoon to the right side, and then always serving coffee on a tray, as such as you can see on the picture, with the coffee. Of course, you need a saucer under the coffee cup, so the little spoon, and then you will always need, of course, a sugar pot, and probably the pot for the milk and the coffee, and present the coffee in a very elegant way. So that's why coffee can become, from a very basic, simple commodity and also a very cheap product, can become quite a powerful asset in the brand strategies of luxury, and a very key element in customer experience, just through the power of gesture. Having said that, it's time for coffee, and I hope you will never look at your simple cup of coffee the same way as you did before. See you soon to continue this series on the small power of gestures in luxury.